Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Wednesday, July the 9th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room. Well, let me bring up a chart first off of the SPY. Today was FOMC day, so the minutes were released at 2 p.m. And I have to admit, it's probably my least favorite day to trade in any given month. I always find I'm just sort of unsure of what to do for the 3 hour period before the 2 o'clock. I find it can be very sluggish and slow, and I just have to always maintain not trying to make things happen. And so consequently, it's just very slow for me. And today was really no exception. Let's just take a look at what did happen when they released the minutes. You can see we had an immediate drop. So here's 11 o'clock. These are 5 minute candles. So we had an immediate drop down, and then the buyers took over, and then basically it popped it right back up. And we still have half an hour left in the market, and we're just sort of consolidating in this area right here. So much for a third down day in a row. Remember, I was talking yesterday about we had two red candles here, but obviously we're going to finish green here, and who knows what tomorrow is going to bring, but certainly not another, today was not another red day, and so I think a lot of fears have been alleviated for a while. Alcoa AA came out with some decent earnings, and I think they probably helped to jumpstart the market earlier this morning. Well, let's take a look at what I did do today, and not terribly exciting to be honest, but I have to go over it. TXMD. Now, TXMD actually was from yesterday. If you watch the video, I was talking about how we should be watching this first thing tomorrow morning, especially in the pre-market and on the open. But when the video when I finished the video, I think there was about still 15 minutes left in the market, and I decided to take the trade actually at 5.37, $5.37 for an overnight hold. And one of the reasons I do something like that, let me just show you what my qualifications or my justifications for an overnight hold would be something like this. First of all, the stock has had to have extraordinary volume, which of course it did. This is yesterday, of course. I also like to see the stock closing near the high of the day. I don't want to see, let's see if I can find one. I wouldn't want to see something like this. So, it spiked up and then it basically sold off for the rest of the day. I want to see virtually the reverse. It doesn't have, we don't have to have a tail here, but I do want to see the stock closing at near the high of the day, giving people confidence to maybe jump in right away the next day. Now, I had said that it would be great if it might even spike above this little area here, which is 564. I said that if it could get above there, then it's got some room to 630 and more room to 794 in terms of being stopped technically. So that's what happened actually. If you look at the daily, it's actually in the pre-market or the post-market. Now this is the post-market, and you can see it already made that level in the post market. And so in the follow through, this now is 745. Let me just get, there we go. Here is the pre-market today. And so it was still strong. It chopped around this area. It almost got through six on this spike here. I almost sold, but I was actually holding out for it to go above six. And so here's where the market opened, a big red candle, but it popped back up. But as it started coming down again, I decided to get out of the trade at 562. So didn't get my wish. I really was hoping that this would go through six, and I thought if it would go through six, who knows what could have happened. But that was the first trade of the day. And let's take a look at the second trade. Now, Pran was a disappointment, I have to admit. Now, Pran came again. I was looking at my stocks less than $10, and at that, I think it was more up at the top here. And here's where it closed yesterday, and it's another one of these little bios. And let's take a look at the daily chart. So you can see on the daily chart that it was hammered down from $9, $9.50 way back on the 31st of March. And it's just kind of been holding in this area for a while. And yet today, yesterday was a little bit of volume. And now, of course, today we've got a lot of volume coming in. And So I thought, well, okay, even if it doesn't have to break through 322 for this to be a good trade, especially if I get in around 260. And so I took the trade, watched it do this action right here, a little bit of a pullback, talked about it in the room, and I took the trade at 266. And it did go as high as a 274. Did not sell it. Thought again, I was hoping maybe we had one. It was going to be another one of these little momentum bios that, or just not necessarily even a bio, but just one of those cheap momentum stocks that we've been getting used to over the last couple of weeks. But it didn't do it, and it came back down here, and I was hanging. Somebody asked me if I when I was going to get out, and I almost got out here and I held on to it though. I actually said I was going to get out at 256. No, I was not going to let it go down below 256, though I said I could sell sooner. I did hold on here. It came back, had high hopes again that it might go up, but it didn't. And so the next time it hit this, when it broke 260, I decided to exit the trade. And it's really done not that much since. So, but a disappointment no, nonetheless. I was really hoping that this would be today's momentum trade. The next one was PES. PES, I to be honest, I can't remember how I found this one. It obviously popped up on some scan. It was obviously a strong stock. It's possible it's over $10, so it's obviously wasn't on here, but I think it was on one of my other scans. And so I watched it break 18. And so I decided, and it looked like it was consolidating not too badly above 18. So I took the trade at 1806, but it literally just did not work. Um, I held on here. I did not sell. It did pop down here, and then it had a nice little spike right here. You can see we had some good volume right down here is the volume candle, and we had a nice spike, and it looked like it was going to be on its way. And the next 5 minute candle just took it down. I said, well, that's it. And it's really done nothing since then. So another small loss. Now the next one was Deer. And Deer, actually I traded it twice. And Deer came from the my bounce play. You can see Deer at 1881 is when I was initially alerted to it. So right in this area here. And you can see it fell a lot further, but now you see we're starting to get into the time period where I just don't want to trade at all. It's about 3 hours before the FOMC, and you can see like a stock like Deere, which usually has a pretty fair following, just really did nothing, just in anticipation as to what was going to happen. Now, I did break my rule. I had said that I would like to take this stock if it got over 89, over the whole number, and it did. And it poked above right here, came back down, and it poked up again. So even though it was an hour away from the FOMC, I thought perhaps we might have a little run, and it could have given us almost a dollar, if it wanted to. But it didn't. And so when it broke down through the whole number, I decided to take exit the trade at 88.96. But I did say I was going to keep watching it. And so I did keep watching it. And so now we're at 210. Right here is at 210. And so the FOMC is 10 minutes old. It looks like things have settled down, and if anything, of course, the market was starting to trend upwards. So I actually got in right here a little bit late. I probably should have got in, around this area here, 89.15, if I was really a little more aggressive. But I did wait, and I got in at 89.23, and I sold the first half at 89.41 and the second half at 89.35. Nothing, I mean, no great shakes, to be honest. I mean, it was more, I think I was more or less intrigued by this, thinking, okay, FOMC is over. It has some room to run, no pun intended, like a deer, and it just didn't do it. It just flat out didn't do it. So at any rate, though, I was able to salvage not a bad trade in a very short period of time, and I can see right now that it's collapsing again, or at least going to challenge the whole number. So I guess my exits were good in this particular case. Now, one stock I do want to take a look at, and I think you should be watching this tomorrow. And let me just back this out. And let me just see if I can find it. I'm sorry, I should have put it in my list here, but PRXL. Just one second. No, I'm sorry, that's not the one. I'm just going to just got to find it. I'm just going to put it on. Okay, we're back. I found it, and this is one that I missed. I mean, I know some in the room traded it, and great for them to have found this early on and have traded it. You can see that this, you probably a pretty good buy signal right in this area here at 768, and it just went $9 and 20 cents as a high. But this is one I'm definitely going to be watching tomorrow. I'm not going, doesn't look like I'm going to take this as an overnight hold though. It's sold off just a little bit more than I like, and I really wanted it to hold above. Well, actually, it's 885. I'm sorry, I was reading that wrong. I thought that was 865. It's hard to say. I mean, if it can go above $9, I may take it as an overnight hold for tomorrow. But you can see why. Now, there's some resistance here, obviously, at $9. But if it can get above here and it can just, tomorrow morning, if it can get above 905, this candle here is 896, then who knows what could happen. So I would absolutely suggest that you watch PXLW tomorrow just to see how it opens and if it's going to have, excuse me, continuation. You can see we've had like a tremendous volume day. It is at 10 million shares here. It typically trades less than a million shares. So, I mean, this is a tremendous volume day. So this is going to show up on everybody else's radar. So why not yours? I mean, that's really what it is. In all these, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, we'd like to get in maybe earlier than the masses, of course. But what we're really trying to do is also follow, and a lot of people will be watching this tomorrow. And if we can get in early, it could get a great trade for us. Now, the only other thing I want to talk about is NOR, and I am in this, and I think I'm going to swing this one. I talked about this one yesterday, actually. I said this is a potentially a good swing trade, and I mean, right now for this Noranda aluminum, so metals are hot right now, so. Yes, it's got some resistance up in this area here, 429, maybe 450, and then up to 5. But I'm in at 406. I bought it today, and I think I'm going to hold it. Unless it does something really stupid in the last 20 minutes, I will probably hold this and just see what happens. And hopefully I get a third day. I don't expect, a rocket ship. I don't expect this to add a dollar or anything like that. But yesterday it broke out of this little congested area here, and now we've got some continuation. So I do anticipate it's going to get stuck right there. I may be long gone before that happens. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow morning. So that's it for today. Let me just bring back the cover page. And again, here's the address to get into the room. And hopefully, for me anyway, a better day. I don't have to worry about FOMC. And so hopefully a better day in the room for me tomorrow. And I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.